Tranquility.
As much time as they
Looks like
can.
they will have an opportunity to recontest here. You're not done.
That's it. Euphoria has shattered. This is what matters most right now. Gets stunned out, though. He's dropped real low. And it's not enough. He doesn't even get the press queue. Now Ruby has free reign. Doesn't find anybody with their shatter. The Dragon on point finds one. Searching for another. Down two members right now. Sneakin looks for the touch. Bombs up. Bombs over. High Noon's down. Finds one. Death Knot searching to do the most right now on this point, but will be going down. Immortal, the only man to try and stagger this one out as best as they can. The Reinhardt's coming back alive, but there's no kill potential right now. Euphoria has to find something. There it is, the fire strike through. Sif's T is going to be remeching soon. Race FPV managed to take him out, and now the stagger continues as Shepvik is alive. And
that's but Race is sleeping.
Double. Race sleeps in the back line. The Nano's out onto Ruby, but both supports are alive. The shatter goes down onto Shepvik, cutting that main support out of the equation. Euphoria still out on this point, and as long as that main takes alive, this point is alive right now. Race FPV though goes down with Death Blossom. Death Knot now left up to the task on this Genji Immortal. Oh my god, again!
We have two people who disconnected.
Hello everybody and welcome back to yet another incredible night here at Overwatch Tranquility. Tonight we've got a little Sunday special coming out for you. It's part 2 of Fighting Potatoes versus Comets, the climactic series that was unfortunately cut off by Papa Jeff himself. Tonight bringing the action at you, it's going to be me, Dor, and I am joined by Bard. Bard, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great tonight. I'm doing excellently. I can't wait to watch some superb Overwatch tonight. I think we are going to see quite an interesting match. I don't know if it's gonna be a 1 or a 2 mapper, but I can't wait to see how it turns out.
Well, you're spoiling a little bit of stuff there. The current score is 2-1 in favor of the Comets. The series started out on Lijiang, where the Comets took the map 2-0. However, both points ended up going 99% to 99%. Following that, we headed over to Hanamura, where the Comets held over the Fighting Potatoes on the second point. The Fighting Potatoes looked absolutely helpless. Going into halftime, though, the Fighting Potatoes had a trick up their sleeve. They headed over to Hollywood, ended up full holding the Comets after an incredible stagger, ended up holding on to that point. And following that, we hopped over to Havana, the final map that we got to see. On Havana, the Comets speed ran through the map, finishing the map with 1:59 left on their clock. Meanwhile, the Potatoes look helpless on point A, barely making it through in overtime, then heading on to the second point, making it through there in overtime as well. Following that, the third point as well. The Fighting Potatoes make it through, force the game into overtime, where they pushed until the end of point A. Following that, it was the Comets who pushed all the way up 1-2 fights. The Potatoes start staggering out. They finally get an advantage in the fight, and the server disconnects. And that is where we're left off now, replaying this Havana map that we were solely robbed of the ending of. I couldn't be more excited for this, Bard. How about you?
I couldn't either. You know, these are two teams that we've seen play the meta. We've also seen them play off meta. They've brought really interesting Really, really wonderful gameplay out of the Harmony tier, and I just can't wait to watch them go head to head and break it down for all you guys.
Yes, sir. And coming in here, it's the Fighting Potatoes starting off their roster. It's going to be Race, FPV, Sneaky Kitten, Immortal, Shepvik, Euphoria, and Death Knot. Meanwhile, on the Comets end of things, it's Funny Name, Sips T, Truth. Pardon me.
Oh.
Ruby, Mudkip, and Alex. And starting off on the attack, it's going to be the Comets. Bard, it's going to be a good one. But now that we're already here loaded into the match, what do you expect to see brought out on Havana?
Oh, I think if there's anything I really expect to see, or something I guess that I really want to see, it's going to be some Diva gameplay coming out from both of these teams. We've seen Sipsty really just put on a clinic on Diva in past matches. I know they put on a clinic against Modify when we played them, so I cannot wait to see that come out. As a DPS player, I love that both of these teams don't just stick to May McCree. So that's going to be really, really interesting. And then the thing I really, really want to highlight is Comets' support line. They've always been so eager to play Lucio Brigida, a support comp that for a lot of people may not think it provides enough healing, especially after certain changes to both heroes. But they've really made it work and made it thrive. So I want to see how Potatoes are ready to shut that down and kind of divide their team when they play so close together with those two supports.
So we actually saw this on Hollywood. The Comets looking to play hyper aggressive with the Lucio Brigida, but what the Potatoes did is exactly what they're doing right now. Race FPV on the Forest, Sneaky Kitten on the Mercy. It full held, it shut down this Comets roster, and they think that's the key to holding on right here. Now pushing for this cart. Already getting into the action, but the Comets have to make it into this fight first. They're deciding to wrap their way around here. I like their approach. They're going to catch Euphoria out if he doesn't respect them quite enough here. Euphoria starting the fight here with Ruby gets walled off, and this bad news bears for the Potatoes. They lose their main tank already. No! Now backing up, it's going to be Immortal. The Diva has to peel for their teammates. Meanwhile, Race FPV still putting in damage on this far. They can't quite get too greedy yet, but that fight is definitely going to be going the way of the Comets.
Yeah, we see the power of the May Wall, a cooldown ability that is essentially a fight winner. It can take down both your main takes, it can take down anyone else who gets caught behind it, and we just saw Alex put on a clinic right there of how it's used. Get it right behind that Reinhardt, don't let him connect with his team. He wants to get in there, let that Moira heal him up and keep him up, and it just can't happen with that May Wall.
Yep, and there it is. He gets walled off again. The Dragon will be thrown out here by Death Knot. Not quite going to find any kills, however. Shepvik's orb will find another. Race FPV, however, still in the sky. Still Mercy Pocket is still dishing out all sorts of damage on this point right now. Shepvik running away from this Reinhardt for his life, but the barrage is out. Finds one DMAX, finds another kill. However, Race FPV does go down. The two supports are alive on the point there. Reinhardt's coming back. Euphoria trying to make his way onto the point. No charge in his back pocket, but Ruby's got one. Takes him into the wall and into that health pack, however. Heals Ruby right back up, and now we're here at the end of the A point, and it's just a stagger to try and get some more time on the clock here for the Potatoes.
Yeah, they're really trying to avoid that C9. Funny name on that Brigida. We've seen him get first pick so many times. He plays in and aggressive with his team to get those picks. We saw it here. We saw it in the last fight as well. He really plays the aggression perfectly with his Brigida.
Okay, I was going to say it's not quite over yet, but the Comets more than cleaning up there, and that's really how this map is going to go. If the Comets can clear that distance, make it in onto the Potatoes composition, they're going to win pretty much every fight. The Lucio Brigida is just pure brawl, wants to be up in your face, and the Fighting Potatoes have been more than happy to do that. And again, this is something that we saw prior in the series. It was Euphoria getting over aggressive, not peeling back and allowing the far to do the work. And he's going to have to relearn that quick, because we're already just about halfway through Havana here.
And Ruby has been playing with their Brig and with their May exquisitely. Right here we get the what a combo.
Lands for two. Shepvik, however, trades one back. Truth there to finish it off. Finds the three-man death blossom. Anything you can do, I can do better. Ups the 2 kills to 3. And gets himself what's probably going to be the play of the game.
Yeah, really interesting. Sometimes in Overwatch, we talk about ult economy, one team's number of ults and alt percentage charge versus the other. In this case, we really got to see how the alt economy can sway a team. Comets came in with 3 huge impact ults. They had the Reaper Death Blossom, the Diva Bomb, and the Mei Ultimate, and they used all 3 of those ults to just really cleanly win that fight. Very little losses on their side, and it really just shows the impact of having more ultimates.
Oh, but Race FPV's Barrage doesn't care about your ultimate economy. It's going to find 2 kills regardless. Red Mudkip drops the sound barrier, but it is all too late to deal with that one. And with one swift press of the Q button, Race FPV nets a stabilization here for the potatoes.
Yeah, we see the alt economy there again. Haters had 4 ults to the 2 on the side of the Comets, and they used them expertly, but now Comets have 2 ults and they're building close to that Diva Bomb much faster than the enemy team, while Taters have nothing. And so it's going to be really interesting to see how they kind of push their way through this and avoid these really dangerous ultimates.
And the potatoes need to disengage. This is a distance that they don't want to be taking fights right into this Lucio Brigitte. Their Reinhardt's going to be going down immediately. Now a Shatter dropped on a team. Completely helpless. Death Knot goes down. Race FPV's got another barrage. What is this man on? Finds 3. Finds the D-Mech. Now searching for Ruby. If he can take out this main tank, that bodes very well here for the potatoes. Euphoria searching for that charge. Not going to find a sneaky kitten in the meantime. Keeping him up. Finds funny name. Brigitte gone. Sustain as well. Alex here now trying to hold on, searching for a wall onto Euphoria. But as we say that, the staggers are coming in. The spawns are headed up here for the potatoes. And this hold is still going on. Sneaky Kitten keeps her main tank alive in the meantime. Immortal drops onto the point. It's another tank now here. Death Knot trades one onto Truth. And the Blizzard is dropped on point. Only catches out Immortal Bomb now here. Will get the D-Mac in, but Ruby is up on this high ground. There's not much they can do with the hammer. Race FPV, though, has a rocket blaster, and that's just going to continue to dish out damage until he goes down here to 50. But the numbers are looking great for the potatoes, and so is that Shatter. Lands on this 50. There's 2 DPS left on this point, but the potatoes hold on.
Yeah, another fight I want to point out, we saw Funny Name get aggressive at the right time, secured that first pick for Comets. Unfortunately, they just couldn't keep it going as long. Euphoria had his supports with him on Reinhardt when Ruby did not. And that is how you see the fight swing. When Ryan can stay up longer than the enemy Ryan, you kind of play this cat and mouse battle. And if you can just stay up a little longer than the enemy Ryan, you can essentially straight up win the fight just off of that, especially at this level of Overwatch. So that it was very interesting and something that I definitely want to highlight. Watch how these Reinhardts dance when they're up against each other. Watch how they play with their different... Oh, what a first pick. What a first pick.
30 seconds left.
30 seconds remaining.
Haters are looking to hold this. They're going to go back. They're going to reset, have their whole team with them. That Lucio speed is going to be crucial. Once they start engaging here, they've swapped onto Ana, trying to keep Ruby up a bit more. So this Lucio speed is going to be what decides
what Ana?
Ana's down.
What Ana? Oh, and Race FPV's got another barrage! This man has found 4 in under 2 points. Immortal chucks the bomb in for good measure. Potatoes looking to end here. Shatter lands, though, down on 2 members. Shepvick will be taken out. Death Knot, however, just lays on the ground, gets right back up. Death Knot trading onto Ruby, punishing him for using that Shatter. Now Alex on the man, 50 on the Diva. The only things holding on to this point. Red Mudkip running for the point, running for dear life as Alex gets pinned away by Euphoria. And this one's looking great for the potatoes. 3 members of the Comets, however, have made it back on the point, including a Doomfist, which has kill potential, but nothing is going to be had here as overtime ticks down and the potatoes hold on point 2 of Havana.
A great hold from Potatoes. I've got to say, I personally think that did come down to the support lines of both teams. With the Mercy, especially having the Pharah in the air, there's a lot more space to retreat and play around. And with the Moira that they were running, with that Fade, you can get out of pretty much any sticky situation and you build ult so quickly. And when you play that against the Brig Lucio, just the amount of healing output that Moira Mercy can put out allows your team to play a lot more aggressive. It allowed Race to build like 6 ultimates in that game. That is how you win fights. You just play better as a team. You have these healers to keep your tanks up, and we were seeing a lot more of that from Potatoes than we were seeing from Comets.
Yeah, and I want to highlight, when we saw these teams battle each other on Tuesday, it was the Comets finishing the map with 2 minutes left in the time bank. They lost maybe 1 fight in the entirety of the map. The rest of that time is just the cart moving forward. To get held at the second point after that, boy, am I excited to see what the Potatoes have in store.
Yeah, it looks like Tatos did their VOD review. They did their homework. They kind of worked out the kinks and what was working to begin with, making sure that pharmacy can stay up, stay a bit more aggressive. And I gotta say, maybe a little overconfident of Comets not to run a hit scan to begin with, having seen Farah pick them apart already.
4, 3,
And now it's going to be the Potatoes going in. Race FPV still on this far. Is such a key player here, but they've got to play up against this spawn hold. The wall misses big time now as Sipsty eats a massive purple nade, but will trade out here for Euphoria, eventually getting DMEC'd by Race FPV. And like you mentioned, there's still not a hit scan. Race FPV's playing above this spawn right now, and he's got free reign of the health bars of the Comets. He's going to be raining in a lot of damage, and I believe the Potatoes should be out of this spawn in no time right about now. Euphoria wrapping around the opposite side now without a Farah in the mix. The Potatoes may have just screwed themselves over a little bit.
Race already has an ult, so it's not really going to matter for them. They get to regroup, respawn, come out here, and just press Q onto the enemy team. And it's really going to be down to Sipsty right here. How can they mitigate that Pharah ultimate when it comes out?
I mean, how do you even know a barrage is coming out this early? Forget the barrage. Shepard's got an anti-nade, landed on a funny name. Ruby as well gone down. That's most of the sustain gone here. Alex still is up on the Mei. And they're going to try and get as many kills as they can, but this one looks like a said and done deal here for the Potatoes. They're going to continue on throughout point A.
Yeah, it comes down to those supports again. Sneaky Kitten is able to go back and forth between their tanks and that Farah, keep them all up. Shevnik, like you said, got first or second pick in that fight. Those anti-nades, not only do they increase the healing on your teammates, but they do a lot of damage and make a lot of space for your team. And we saw how that worked when Shevnik got that in on like 4 of the members of Comets at the beginning of that fight.
Euphoria is in trouble, but so is the backline of the Comets here. Have to turn around, respect the death bomb with the shatter. Oh my god, it hits 4 of the bombs in afterwards. The shield to try and block it. The barrage now shoved in from Race FPV. They're laying the ultimates on, they're laying on thick, but it's only netted them a 1-man advantage. Meanwhile, Truce Death Blossom finds another one on Euphoria here, and it looks like the Comets are just gonna say they don't give a damn about the ultimates that Potatoes has stored up.
Yeah, that's the power of Mei D.Va in that fight. I really want to point to the Mei and the D.Va. You know, we give them both, Alex and Sipsty, a lot of credit in these fights. But I really just want to point that wall to start it off, and the D.Va ate 2 ultimates in that fight. That is outstanding. Death Knot could not hit Q to get anyone on their team who wasn't shattered. That was incredible.
Now heading in here towards the end of point A, there's gonna be a lot more airspace for Race FPV to take. I think that's really got to be the 8 question here. Oh, a great wall onto Euphoria, gets him frozen up, allows the bomb to come over. Sneaky Kitten taken out, and that's a clean and clear fight win there for the Comets. A great ultimate combo allows them to net themselves more time. Now a minute 17 on the clock. This ain't looking great here for the Potatoes.
And Comets still have the ult economy coming into this. Lucio versus Ana ult. Lucio's going to win every time. You know, 600 health to every member of your team is just monumental in any team fight, regardless of what Potatoes can throw at Comets.
And it really has felt like the Comets have been able to do a lot with a lot less right now. As this push starts to come out, the Mei wall misses onto Euphoria here, starting to get frozen up, and the charge is found yet again, but Race FPV does trade out here for Alex. That Mei's now out of the equation. This far can still dish out a lot of damage in the sky. Great anti-nade, gonna be forcing the Comets back up here. Now they're without a main tank. How does it feel, say the Potatoes, as Race FPV still in the sky, still a nuisance here up against this red side team. Red Mudkip will be coming back in. We've got the sound very funny name. Does have that rally. It's gonna be a recontest from the Comets. Will the Potatoes be able to hold on? They've got the tools.
Yeah, Sipsty doesn't want to get staggered there as they die on point, so they're going to be a little late to join their team regardless of that, but they are coming in here with the Shatter and with the Death Blossoms to combo with it. They do get the beat out on time. That was what I was just about to say.
Oh, and the Death Blossom comes out as well as the bomb here. Both trade out for 1, but Ruby now out of the fight. Euphoria is standing up the point. Yep, they just can't touch that point, can't get anywhere near it with Sipsty down as well as Funny Name. There's pretty much no sustain left on that point. They've got a decent time bank coming into point 2 here.
Yeah, that was a great play coming out of Euphoria. He didn't shatter for the bomb combo, he shattered for the cart. And that is just 900 IQ, you shatter so they can't touch, and then your team can just push right in, and that is how it works. And the Mei wall, again, coming out onto Euphoria is just an instant fight winner on cooldown.
You know, I'll tell you what's not a 900 IQ move, constantly running into Maywalls. Maybe something that Euphoria might want to start doing. He seemingly not learning from his mistakes right about now, but the tensions are high. Can't blame the man because he's already back from spawn right now. The ultimates are starting to come up here for the Comets. This next fight is going to be a rough one for the Potatoes. If they can end it quickly, they'll get another chance, but they have to start it. And that's going to be it. Engaging with that dragon, cuts off 3 members here of the Potatoes, charging through, tries to find one. Immortal will be taking out Ruby, and the barrage on top of it. Forget ultimate advantages. Race FPV's got another barrage in his back pocket. He's finding 2, and Euphoria's cleaning up on the back end. Truth, the only man alive right now. This Reaper could be a problem if they let him live, but he's going to get staggered out here on the cart. 1 minute 13 remains on the clock. Funny name. Has that rally 60. Has that bomb.
Yeah, Truth really dying on cart there to allow his team to have the time to reset together. A 5-man push is going to be a lot better than trickling in. And now we're going to have to see how this works with this rally. They pop it when they're not quite together, but they do have the Blizzard bomb. So that is going to be the fight winner here.
It only catches out Euphoria. Immortal does have a bomb with 50 seconds left on the clock. I think the Potatoes want to die as quickly as possible right now. That definitely seems like the right move. Immortal, though, could get staggered up big here. Makes it out around the Maywall. Avoids getting frozen up, but he's got to wait for the booster cooldowns. They got 3 seconds, and he's demeched with 30 seconds on the clock. Oh, no.
That was one where you kind of just want to go off the map. He was over to the side there. In those doorways, you can just boosters, 1 booster off the map, resets you in the spawn with your team, and you're going to be getting back a lot faster with your mech.
Not to mention,
maybe a poor choice
he had
there.
bomb as well.
But he's already 93. Immortal has been really good this game at getting their mech back super quickly as Baby Diva, and even fragging as Baby Diva, so that's maybe not something that they're that worried about.
No, you did the bomb shatter combo in the wrong order, but they're going to chuck the dragon in afterwards. Euphoria looking to clean it up, but Truth does have another death blessing in the back. One shatter lands here from Ruby, but a great anti-nade forcing them off. They're all dropped low and Race FPV. Another barrage. What is this man on? Alex goes down to a Race FPV clean up. Truth. 3 members remain here for the Comets on the point, but Death Knot and the DPS of the Potatoes are cleaning up. Bomb will be coming down. There is the shield from Euphoria to keep everybody alive. Only going to be losing Sneak Kid to a Snipsty. Trying to hold on to this point, going to be DMX here as the Reinhardt does come back. Ruby racing to this point right now, but 4 members push the cart forward. He's going to charge in. Doomfist down. Alex taken out. 3 members on point. Truth here. Kill potential there. Death Knot traded out for 3 members here for the Comets now on the point. As Race FPV just tries to dish out enough damage, but he's got to land those strike rockets. Finds 1 down on the funny name. Searching for that second. If he can take the brigade out of the fight, he can take out a lot of that sustain. And Sifty now coming in. These numbers are starting to add up for the Comets, but the Shatter is going to start to negate that. They don't take out Red Mud. Scratch that. It's going to be the Moira right-clicking him to death. Alice comes back in, but yet another barrage is going to seal this one out here for the Potatoes.
Yeah, lack of a hit scan there really made a difference there. Race was allowed to stay up for that entire fight, regardless of Sneaky Kittens being alive on Mercy or not, because there was no hit scan to contest them, and Sipsty was spending most of the time contesting the entire enemy team, so they could not put that pressure on Pharah that you normally see from a Diva when you're not running the hit scan. So him staying up that whole time really did not give Comets room to play around.
Oh my god.
He did so much damage on a short game of
24k
Havana.
damage.
That
With
Pharah,
4 points. What?
with the splash damage, if you're not constantly putting pressure on that, it can full carry your team. And we saw Race building Barrage in less than a fight in most of those fights, and really just using it in some great situations, pretty much always getting a pick or 2, which is prime usage of your ultimate. And I think that he on Pharah really did make the difference for his team there.
Yeah, and I've got to say, I have to hand it to everybody on the Potatoes, because Race FPV, he's on the carry hero, but what that means is there's 4 people sitting on the ground that are all just food for this brawl comp that the Comets were coming out with, and for them to survive that long, to allow Race FPV to get up those barrages to dish out that damage, that really is not any small task, and the Taters, like we said, have definitely done their homework heading into this match. And I'm going to take it back from the match and kind of comment on this. This game is everything that I wanted it to be so far. Taters and Comets, it was just like this on Tuesday. Close maps, and now we're headed to a map 5, and it's all up to the Comets where they decide to take it. Where do you think they're going to be headed, though, in the map pool here? It's going to be either Watch Point, Gibraltar, Havana, or pardon me, it's going to be Control. So yeah, Busan or Ilios.
Busan or Ilios? I think because Comets are choosing, they're going to go for Busan. Because we've seen the Farah kind of wreck them, honestly. And we are going to see them go for Busan here. It is a map that is a lot harder for Farah on a couple of these maps. You know, Sanctuary, you can kind of make Farah work, maybe. Mecha base, you can't make Farah work. I'm a Farah main. I would love it if I could make Farah work.
No ground Farah in Mecha base?
You can't make it work. You may as well run Junkrat. May is infinitely better regardless. You may as well run Doomfist for all that's worth. And well, not City Center. What's the one with the train? We all know.
Downtown.
Downtown, right. That one is good for Farah, and actually pretty strong for Farah, but doesn't really allow for like a full Farah. We saw on point A of attack for Comets, they were able to play kind of safe in areas, and it really allowed them to ignore the Farah. They didn't need a hit scan at point A. But when they got to point B and there was less places to play safe, they had much more trouble. On downtown, there's a lot of places you can play safe. And so I think they're definitely going to be exploiting that, and they're definitely going to be playing the map against Farah as opposed to trying to maybe force double hit scan or anything else that would contest Farah to begin with.
Yeah, and now as we head on to Busan, it kind of raises the question. The Potatoes very, very clearly prepared her for Havana. They looked like a completely different team. But were they preparing for the map afterwards? You have to assume if the Faro works, then this definitely goes to Busan as opposed to Ilios. So do you think they've planned that far in ahead, or are they just flying by the seat of their pants here?
Well, we saw them be really prepared on Havana, so I wouldn't be surprised if they were prepared for Control. And we've seen them make some pretty 900 IQ plays, so I'm not going to say that it's impossible for them to have prepared for a specific Busan pick. But then again, Comets are a really flexible roster. They do have hit scan players. They played hit scan in the past. They may be expecting Ilios with just the assumption that they win Ruins and Lighthouse, and they don't have to worry about Well and letting Farah frag. So I would imagine that they would practice both control maps, and I would hope that Comets would also practice both control maps and not kind of go into this overconfident. I don't know if they looked overconfident in that first map compared to how I've normally seen them play, but they definitely looked like they were trying for their comfort picks over any sort of counters. But now we're getting into it, and we're seeing a counter.
It is, and it's on Busan downtown. A great far map, but nonetheless, a fantastic Widow map here. These rooftops offer a whole lot of angles for her to take all sort of scope shots in on this Farah. The question is Rose going to be up to the task? Because Race FPV has proven his mettle here on the Farah, and I feel like dealing with the Widowmaker is something that might just be right up his wheelhouse.
Yeah, Widowmaker, weirdly enough, being one of the only hit scan that can really just delete a Farah, is also one of the easiest to deal with as a Farah. They're a lot more stationary. They can't really avoid these rocket shots as much. They're a lot easier to hit on these direct shots. But Rose proved me wrong immediately. I was just going to say they're easy to counter in first pick.
Well, it was on to Death Knot. Race FPV has not been taken out of this equation quite yet, and I think they see that Widowmaker. They actually bring Race FPV immediately down on the point, but Rose already Sneaky Kitten goes down, and I think that, no, it's not quite both the supports. One DPS, one support is down, but now Euphoria basically has nothing to do on this point other than die.
Yeah, and really interesting that we're still seeing the Mei from Alex while they're running this Widowmaker. Sometimes you are tempted to run Hanzo, run that double sniper, allow your whole team to kind of play from range while your tanks engage. But Alex looks really comfortable playing alongside Ruby, getting really up in their face with those walls and with those freezes, and just absolutely bringing it to the Potatoes. So I do really, really like the Mei Widow here, and I think it's going to be a great job at shutting down Solitary Bird on D.Va, who may actually be their answer for Rose, as we're seeing right now.
And Rose takes out Death Knot yet again here. I'm starting to doubt this composition that the potatoes are bringing out, but they do start to take the point over. The Reinhardt is sleeping and nanoed here for the Comets, though, and he's just going to swing through everybody. And I want to kind of harken back. Oh, wait, the res goes off, the tank's back. It's 2 versus 4 on point here. The Comets are starting to lose this one. The D.Va's back 3 versus 3 here. Sipsy takes Reset PV out of the sky, but not before he gets DMAC'd himself. Now Ruby will be going down to Euphoria, and with that one Reinhardt alive, it looks like the potatoes are actually going to manage to hold on to this point.
Maybe we were wrong. Maybe Death Knot was the carry on that fight. He hasn't been allowed to play for the first 2 fights, and as soon as he comes back in, he gets 3 big picks and a DMAC, really showing off. There's 4, he gets Alex as well, really just showing off that Hanzo has a ton of pure damage output as a hero, and when he's allowed to play behind his shields and work with his team and not get picked off straight away, he can put work in to help his team win.
And now that we're at this position, it's significantly harder to push this map with the Widow than it is to hold it. Rose has been in an advantageous position this entire time up until now. Now he's got to deal with a lot more because Race FPV's above, and there's a lot of ultimates in this game right now, and Race FPV's barrage is one of them. Takes out 2, but not before the bomb. Trades for him and his Mercy now pushing on to this point. Sipsky trying to search for the backline here. Death Knot in a lot of trouble. The pardon me, the Blizzard lands down on the point. Alex will be traded out for a Solitary Bird in this baby D.Va form. Is dishing out a lot of damage. Death Knot, Sneaky Kitten are the 2 members alive here for the potatoes on this point right now. It's 48%. Will take over. Core there tries to search for the res. Will get it off here on Solitary Bird. Solitary Bird does have the remake, but gets taken out by Sipsy in too quick of a time. Now Ruby trying to find those kills, trying to take those staggers away. Euphoria's back alive on the point. He's got 2 sports with him, keeping him alive for the time being. Race WP still alive on this far, trying to avoid those sightlines of Rose. Rose still going to be a problem and takes him out of the sky. It's going to take over the way of the Comets.
Yeah, really important to note there.
Maybe? Wait, no. Come on, Comets. You got to clean those up. There it is. Solitary.
There it is. And they take them down, sorry, off of the point, so that they can cap while they're demeching, because that is a significant amount of staggers dying on point, as D.Va can get you 4 to 5% of the tick on the point. Rose getting another pick onto Death Knot. Oh my god, these sniper battles are wonderful, but I just want to quickly note, we see a lot of potatoes fights that they lose happening when they lose
No one can hide from
first
my
pick in
sight.
general when they've lost Death Knot, but when they're in the middle of fights, as soon as they've lost their Mercy, they've started to look a lot more lost as a team. That damage boost, that spread healing, and that kind of mobility brought to your backline. Oh, what am I talking about? Those bombs.
Sipsty has been so consistent. Finds 2 more, but now Euphoria finds one with the shadow, puts Sipsty down onto the ground, but this overtime's starting to take over. We're at 99% here as Death Knot searching for a kill. He's got to find something here. He's taking down Solitary Bird, doesn't quite get the remake off. And as that timer goes down, Comets start off Busan in a great way, 1-0.
Yeah, you know, I was saying this is the one map you can make far work, but teams can just play careful and play around it, and we saw that. Race built 1 ult in that entire round. I think there was like 177% of the point played out, and there was 1 ult built by their Pharah. They really played super careful. That Widow bracketed him into positions he did not want to be in to be doing damage, and he did not have another DPS to play around. Pharah just didn't work. Comets have found the way to play around it, and they are pushing it heavily into their team. Sipsty has so much more room to pressure the Pharah, to pressure those backlines, to push onto those supports, to build those ults that have been huge. That D.Va gameplay really is this like solid foundation of Comets as they fight, and we are seeing it in this match.
Yeah, I feel like the potatoes are relying a little bit too much on this far. They've shown us on Li Jiang that they can run other things, that they can be successful on other team compositions, but they just don't seem confident enough to use them here. And now Euphoria is on the point. Race FPV, though, does have a nice little offing. Was actually maybe trying to search here for Rose in the back line. Funny names. In a little bit of trouble here on the Ana. Race FPV, though, staying alive notably is going to be the key thing to look out for here. Rose has been searching for him, and so's that charge. Euphoria doesn't find anything, and Ruby's going to take him out with ease here. That fire strike landing down onto this point is going to calmly take over the way of the Comets.
Yeah, really interesting playstyle there from Race. He's playing frontline, he's dropping to do damage, which is really interesting. Kind of like he's playing Mei, but from the sky with splash damage. And it worked on Havana, so I shouldn't doubt it. I'm sure it can work, but this map is so closed off, he's kind of forced to do that by default. He can't play far away when he needs to do damage at the same time. And so I just don't think Fair is the pick here anymore. He has built an ultimate. He's still building them faster than the rest of his team. But that also comes on the back of just playing Pharmacy as opposed to just playing Pharah.
And that's exactly what the Potatoes are going to need. Taking out Alex. Now Euphoria can push forward without the fear of that Mei wall that's been haunting him this entire match right now. Ruby, however, will get the nano, and that's going to demand a lot of space out of the Potatoes here as they start to back up. Charge comes through. Charge lands down onto Ruby. Now it's all up to Euphoria to stay alive, but he's got an anti-nade in the face. And Race FPV is trying to save the fight. Finds Fury. The Reds comes up. That's just enough time, but the Dragons drop through here from Death Knot. He's going to close this fight out. Well held here by the Potatoes.
You know, when I'm corrected, I'm happy to be corrected. Race popping in there, dropping that ult right when he needs to, and just absolutely mopping the floor with the back line of the Comets, right, taking them all down. That was excellently done, excellently positioned to just take Q at the perfect time. Mwah, chef's kiss. I really do want to point out, though, this map is really close quarters. We've mentioned that with Farah, with Race, who's now swapped over to Junkrat, which is going to be very interesting. But it's also stopping Rose from getting the pressure that she wants on the enemy backline and onto Death Knot. Death Knot's really been allowed to play frontline with his team around his shields and play safe, kind of do that shield break, get those first picks. And Rose hasn't had those clear sightlines to take them out. We're really seeing how this is impacting both teams, not just the team running Farah. So I think that's a very interesting thing. But the charge out of the Shatter!
And it's going to land down on Euphoria, taking him out of the equation. But Rose is gone, and the Reds lands here. Great Valkyrie here now. Picks Euphoria up. He gets anti-nated. He's not long for life after that one. Going to be dying twice in the same fight. Imagine that one here. Sneaky Kitten trying to hold on. At this point, already ticked over for the Comets. The Potatoes just need a reset.
Yeah, normally dying twice in one fight is something you see with D.Va. They get demeched, die, and when they're rezzed, they come back demeched again, and with 150 damage, and like 30% of your hitboxes being headshot, it's really going to be really easy to take them down. I was really hoping to see a bit more impact from the Junkrat, but I say that he has already built a tire, so Race has been doing damage. He just hasn't been getting those picks that you really need to see as these fights progress.
And he goes down before he even gets to use that tire, though. We're in last fight territory here, and Rose is down to clean up, finds 2 kills to their name. Now pushing on. Sneaky Kitten is the only thing holding on to this point. Solitary Bird and Core make it back in time, and Race FPV comes in with a tire, only finds 1, and it's all up to this Mercy and Moira right now. They're holding on for dear life, but Sips T is going to be taking them down more than easily. Overtime starts to tick down. The bomb drops on top of the point, but it's all icing on top of the cake now, as it's going to be the Comets taking the 5th map of this series after a whole week of waiting.
Yeah, really interesting. We saw the comp work really, really well on Havana for Potatoes. And what we didn't see was them having any sort of backup for it getting countered. And once they started countering it, once Comets really got in that backline, really taking down the auxiliary damage, taking down Mercy a lot more consistently, they didn't have any answer for it. They didn't have a comp change. I would have wanted to see maybe a Mei come out there. I wanted to see Lucio a lot sooner, kind of allow Euphoria to be aggressive, but still also have the availability of backing up into his team. But it just wasn't any changes. And Comets played perfectly how they needed to. They had that team synergy that they really needed, and they had a really, really, really fantastically solid tank line that allowed their supports and that allowed Rose on that Widow to play around each other so well and really synergize, fit all of those pieces where they needed to be, and take out the entirety of the Potatoes structure and take them apart one by one. And so that was just an excellent display of Overwatch from the Comets, and an excellent show on Havana from the Potatoes.
Some great Overwatch play tonight, but we're not done yet here. We've got another match coming up after this one. You guys are lucky. It's going to be the Holy Jalapenos versus the Flashbacks, both sitting at 2-1. We're going to try and head over into that lobby. But in the meantime, we're going to take a short little break. Don't go anywhere.
See you in a minute, guys.